Hey guys, Travis here. We're gonna do work on a little bit of inverse functions. Thank you guys for emailing me. Finally, the emails are starting to come. Hit me, guys. And then based off of your feedback and the emails I get, that's what I'll talk about. Inverse functions, guys. I probably need to update the literature here a little bit, but it's pretty much inverse functions are symmetric about the line y equals x. Because of this property, we can find an inverse function by toggling, switching the variables and solving for the new y value. Also note because y equals x, the original points x, y are now yx. So I probably should change that into a comma b is now b comma a, to not confuse people between the x coordinate and what the y coordinate is. This is in reference to the original, right? Your x coordinate is always your x coordinate. Your y coordinate is always your y coordinate. So yeah. So I might update that in the next iteration. So here's the example, guys. Here's an example 10. I think we just all we did was find the inverse function. So we switched the x and the y. X equals y squared plus 2. Wherever there's an x, now that turns to a y. Where this is like saying y equals f of x, remember? So that's just function notation, f of x. So we're just going to switch that to just x. And that's what I did there. And then we just solve for y. So we did that by moving the 2 to the other side. Well, right now I just rewrote it, right? So this is rewrite right here. And then we just move the 2 to the other side. So whenever you move to the other side, it turns to a minus. So there it is. Y squared equals x minus 2. And then you take the square root. And it really should be plus minus here. Plus minus. But if you want it to be a function, then you got to choose one, right? So I just chose a positive one. So I'll do that in the next iteration. I'll update these notes. So let me do a question similar to 18. I don't want to do question 18 because that one, I want you guys to do it. I'll do the odd ones. I guess there's no harm in doing number 19 here for you guys. And then that one is a bonus. I want to see if you guys can figure it out. Relax. If you don't get that one right, it's okay. It's a bonus, guys. So real quick, I'm just going to write here. Let's see. What am I going to write? I'm going to make a table. I'm making this problem up. Makeup table. So here we go. I'm going to write f of x. And then I'm going to write that g of x is the inverse of f. And I'm just making this up, guys. So if I were to have something like f of 1 equals 2 and f of 2 equals 3. So what do I know about my inverse function? Remember that all inverses reflect across the line y equals x. So chop, what does that even mean? So that means if I have a function like this, let's call that an exponential. The inverse of an exponential is a logarithmic. So here we go. I'm trying to make it symmetric about the line y equals x here. So imagine that you reflect across that dashed line. If I have a point right here, and that point is a comma b, then the inverse of that point is going to be this one, b comma a. So that's all that means, guys. So going from that, so let's see, if I have my original f of 1 equals 2, what's going to be my inverse? Well, remember, that 1 is an x coordinate and that 2 is a y coordinate, guys. 1 comma 2. So my inverse is going to be 2 comma 1. So how do I write it? I write it like this. G of 2 equals 1. So there it is. That's my inverse. So this coordinate here, this is an x coordinate, the 2, and that 3 is a y coordinate. So that means 2 comma 3. So what does that mean? G of 3 equals 2. So hopefully that's enough, guys, to help you out with number 18. So create a little table, and hopefully that logic makes sense. If it still doesn't make sense to you guys, please hit me up. Number 19 is just like the example 10. So we'll work on this one with you guys. So what you want to do, you're trying to solve for y, right? Your new inverse function. You want an inverse function. So what you do, you're gonna toggle the x and the y. So remember, so this is like saying y equals square root of 4 minus 7x. So I'm gonna toggle the x and the y, guys. So I'm gonna go x equals square root of 4 minus 7y. And now what I'm gonna do, what you gotta do is solve for y. So I got to get rid of that square root. I can't just magically, move that 4 without get rid of the square root. So what I'm going to do to get rid of the square root, you're going to square it. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. So now that I have that, I'm going to write x squared equals 4 minus 7y. So now what am I trying to do? I'm trying to isolate the negative 7y. So I'm going to write the word isolate here. Did I spell that right? Isolate. All right. And then from there, guys, I'm going to move that 4 to the left there. So here we go. I'm going to write it right here. So I'm going to have x squared minus 4 equals a negative 7y. And then what I want to do now is I want to get rid of that negative 7 in the front of that. So what I do is I'm going to divide by -7. Now, whatever you do to 1, you got to do to all of them. You can just write one long line right here and then divide it by -7. But I like to do term at a time. And remember, this is my inverse function, guys. So I'm going to write, what am I going to write? I'm going to write f-1 of x. That's how you say this is going to be my inverse, equals a negative x squared over 7 plus, because negative divided by negative is a positive, 4/7. I don't see any issues. If you wanted to write it like this, that's fine. Negative x squared plus 4 over 7. Just make sure that negative does not float, because some of you start putting that negative way in the front here, and if you do that, that's not the same expression. So there it is, guys. Let's see if you can tackle this one. It's the same idea. You're just going to have to do some factoring. So move the x and the y, and if you get stuck with question 20, let me know. Just shoot me a quick email. And then see if you guys can do this one. It's not going to count against you if you can't do it, but remember, there's a composite function, guys. So I'll give you another hint. So let's see. f-1 of g of 3. So do that. And okay, I'm not going to give you any more hints because I want to see how you guys tackle this part right there. All right, guys. So this right here pretty much is basic formulas, guys, from our algebra days. Slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. Point-slope form, y minus y1 equals m, x minus, that's a typo, x minus x1. So hopefully yours has a minus and not an equal sign. But if it has an equal sign, change that to a minus. Vertical line, x equals c, horizontal line, y equals c. So that c is some constant. Vertical shift, if you see that plus c, if it's plus 5, it goes up 5. If it's minus 5, it goes down 5. So if you have whatever's in parentheses with the x is a horizontal shift, guys. If you have a constant on the outside of that, then that's a vertical stretch or compress. If it's a number bigger than 1 or magnitude bigger than 1, then it's a stretch. If it's a magnitude between 0 and 1, then it's a compression. Of course, if you have a negative, it reflects across the x-axis. Hopefully, you guys remember that. And then same thing with the c in the inside, horizontal compressed stretch by a factor of the reciprocal of that. Don't become a robot. There's a reason for that, guys. So hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Let's see if we can do some of these, or let's look at some of these questions. Describe how the graph of g is obtained from the graph of f. Well, I have a parent function here. It's x squared, and I still have x squared there. Look at that squared there, so I still have a quadratic. But notice I have an x plus 5, so that means I have a horizontal shift 5 left. I have a 4 there, so, well, I guess we should do the vertical stretch compress there. That has a magnitude smaller than 1, so it's going to be a compression. And then that 4 there that I have, that plus 4 is a vertical shift of 4. Hopefully that made sense to you guys. This is the same thing, guys. Take care of the horizontal shift first, then look at the vertical stretch, and then go ahead and add 2 to whatever number you get when you multiply the y value by 4. I don't want to try to give you too much information there. This is inverse functions, guys. Remember, this is the inverse. So that x value on your inverse is a y value on the original. So what do you need to get a y equals mx plus b? Well, you need a point and you need a slope. So remember that so these are just hints on f, so that means f of 1 equals -4, and then f of -3 equals -7. Hopefully that's enough to get you guys warmed up. Let's see. Find the equation of a linear line that passes through. So if you're gonna have a linear line that is gonna be parallel, you gotta find your slope. Notice it is a horizontal line, guys. So the only way that it's gonna be parallel is if you have another horizontal line. So maybe plot this point. That might be the easiest route. -6, +3. Plot that point, and then plot this y equals 2, and then see if you can get another line that's parallel to that particular point. And hopefully that's enough to help you with that one, guys. But if it's not, please shoot me an email, and we can talk more detail there. Let's see. Find a linear function that satisfies, again, parallel. So what do you need? Point and a slope. You have a point. There is my point. I wanted to go through that. Find the slope. Find the slope of this function here, guys. Let me know. I mean, well, I guess, look, move that -5x to the right. So their slope is 5. So there it is. And you have a point. So I would either use this formula. You don't have to. You can say y equals mx plus b and then plug in your x and y, and you can solve for a b that way. Or use this formula here and then just get it in slope-intercept form, and you can find your equation really fast, guys. Find the linear function with a y-intercept of 2. So there's your y-intercept. And this is just a point, right? Well, it's a point on your inverse, but they want your point on the original. So 1, comma 0. So here it is. I have a y-intercept of 2. And when x is 1, the y value is 0. So there's my line right there, guys. So see if you can give me that equation, y equals something, or f of x equals something. Remember that slope is rise over run, so this is going to be a negative value, right? Go down how many, and then go to the right how many. Remember that point right there was 0, 2, and then this point right here, that's a 1, 0. This is your f of x graph. So hopefully that helped. If I went too fast, rewind this and rewind. LOL. If I went too fast, backtrack this 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and see if what I said makes sense. And if you're still having issues, guys, just shoot me an email. It's okay, or put a comment, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can, guys. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this little video. If it helped, give it a thumbs up, or not. I mean, I guess you can give it a thumbs down if you want. And I'll see you guys soon. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.